and encourages believers to say inawezekana. It's my hope that you've been doing very well this Sunday evening, and I just want to welcome each one of you so that we can participate in today's broadcast. My name is John Kimani. If you're here for the first time, we encourage you to go to our YouTube channel that is a Marketplace Media, and just subscribe so that we can grow our audience. By the way, what are the kind of members do each pastor have? And what is it that he can do or she can do so that he can effectively pastor them? In his book, Doug Hayward, in the book The Mega Church, he discusses 3 types of members, in which I would want us to discuss them with you this evening. The first kind of a member is called the dear member. DEER. As you basically know, and is that a deer is untamed, is swift-footed, and is difficult to stick around. These are type of members that you cannot be able to track them down. They are here today, they are there tomorrow. They are in drinking water, but the next time they are deep in the forest. These are the kind that are basically very difficult to tame. One day they inquire, the next moment they are out. They are in a Bible study. In a minute they have left the cell group. They have left the church. They have gone to church A. They live there. They are all over the place. In fact, when you try to visit them, they do what we call hide and seek. When they don't show up in church and you ask them, why did you not show up? They have a whole list of excuses and lies that they will give to you to convince you why they did not show up in church. These are dangerous people. The thing that they do not know, when they hear there's a new pastor around, they will join him and they will give lots of support in that other church. Remember, these church members are unstable, they are untamed, they are uncontrollable, they are attracted by the trends and the new fashions that are going around the place. And remember, they are not on growth plan. These are their member. Member number 2 is called goat member. GOAT, goat member. Now, these ones in your church as a pastor, these are a little bit better. As a goat, you know, is easily domesticable. At least you can domesticate them, you can keep them, you can feed them, you can at least account for them, at least you can be able to find them. As opposed to the deer that are running helter-skelter everywhere, and it is very difficult to get a hold of them. With a goat, you are able to hold them, they can stick around, they are more dependent on the human being. And much as they do what they want, they are at least a little bit control. You can follow them. You know, with these kind of members, you know, when they're able to steer around. You know, when a deer sees their counting person, they run away. But with a goat, at least they're welcoming. They will not dash away. They will stick around. They are more friendlier, and at least you can be able to shepherd them. But at the same time, they have traces of stubbornness. When commitment is high, when they are asked to do challenging things, the goat will actually disappear. They have some retro traces of deer. So at least sometimes they will run away, sometimes they will not stick around. Their feeding habits are horrible. You know, they are sometimes unreliable, and they give the pastor, just as the deer member does, they give a pastor a hell of a time. These are difficult members. Dear viewer, this is Marketplace Media, an online platform that engages, equips, and encourages believers to say inawezekana. If you're here for the first time, we encourage you to go to our YouTube Marketplace Media and please hit the subscribe button that anytime we upload any video, you can be alerted. And let's grow this channel. We are learning 3 kinds of members that every church has. The third type of a member after deer and the goat is called the sheep member. The sheep member is among the best. This is the kind of member that every pastor is longing for. This is the kind of a member that is devoted to the teaching. This is the kind of a member that will give towards giving. This is the kind of a member that will talk well about the pastor. You can be sure, even if you change praises as the man of God or the woman of God, this kind of a member is sure to follow you to the end. This make easy to pastor. If your church is filled with this kind of members, then you have all the reason to thank God and to sleep well, because they are not only committed, they are faithful, they are dependable, they are loving, they are prayerful, they walk an extra mile, they cannot entice the pastor, they will always speak the truth in love, and above everything is that they are ready to do that which they are asked. The good thing about sheep is that when they spot a challenge, when they spot a problem, they don't go around like the deer spreading about it and making fun about it. They will cover it. They will stand in and fix it. And I believe the greatest desire, and as a pastor, you might be asking me, and or a church elder, you might be asking me, John, how can I be able to develop the sheep kind of a member? The answer is, it is really possible. And I need to share with you 5 important aspects or some 5 keys in which you can use in order to develop these kind of members that are faithful, that are dependable, that are prayerful, that stick around even when they are problem. You need to understand that such kind of members have ever existed, especially in the early church. We read in Acts chapter 2 verse number 42 that and they devoted themselves, not that word, and they devoted to themselves. Some version will say and they gave themselves to the apostles' instructions and to fellowship. They continued with the apostles' teaching. So number 1, how do you develop such kind of members? Number 1, you must be committed. You must be a sheep yourself. Remember, you cannot become, others cannot become that which you are not. We always say, when you go to the prison and see the things that are being done, that is a replica of the society. If your members are not committed, if your members are not giving themselves fully, I will want to ask you as the minister, as the preacher of the word, as the CEO, as the leader, are you committed? We always say devotion is a spiritual thing and it is transmitted sometimes. Doug Hayward says through osmosis, from a person to a person. The unspoken commitment, the sacrifice of the leadership, we want to see is highly contagious. It is passed from one member to the other member, even without speaking. And so it is very important for the pastor to be committed, for him to be able to set the example, such that the members can be able to see it and follow it. We have said commitment is contagious. When the sheep are able to sense the pastor's commitment, the commitment of the leaders, when the flock are able to notice how the leadership is committed and how serious they are carrying out the responsibility, basically they are going to see and they are going to be influenced and affected by that commitment. So what are we saying? As the leader, the leadership must are the pace setters, and they must be able to model the kind of behavior that they want. And I can give a lot of illustrations of moments when I have demonstrated that kind of commitment into the people, and it's shocking that I've seen it happening with people. If you are a teacher, then everybody around you will start teaching. If you are musical as the leader, everybody within that organization will become musical. If you are critical, every person in your church will become critical. Remember what John C. Maxwell says: everything rises and falls on leadership. And so it's a huge responsibility for you as a leader to become committed, to show commitment, to show devotion, and it's going to spread to other people. The second key that is very important is that always, as the leader, say positive things about the church. Talk positive things about the members. You know, people are likely to be more devoted when you talk well about them, when you celebrate their success. If you want your church to grow, tell them that they are good, tell them that you're great. Speak positively to them. You know, God gave us a mouth, and one of the beautiful things about our mouth is that it has the ability to create. Even if the church is not as you would want, even if the church is full of deers and full of goats, undependable and unreliable people, at all times look for one positive thing about them and speak it. Use your word, a word of your mouth, and say great and wonderful things. There is power in speaking. Do not criticize the people, the members that you have around. You know, you need to say this is a mega church, this is a great church, this is a church that is going a very important place. Key number three of developing devoted members. You know, sheep kind of a member is to say positive things about your pastors. It is a little bit shocking the kind of things that members say about the leadership, the things that they say about the elders, the things that they say about their pastors. It is very important, especially for those of you that are associate pastors, that you always train yourself to speak positive things about your senior pastor. Even when you know the weaknesses of your senior pastor, kindly we encourage you to speak positive things about your pastor. Talk well about the teachings. Talk well about the leadership he or she is offering. You know, say we are blessed in this generation to have such a man of God. You know, why? Because this is going to affect and influence people to come to the church. Okay? Then, number 5, encourage unity within members. One of the ways in which you can encourage that is to ask those church members that are actually wealthy and have job opportunities to be able to hire those church members that are actually unemployed. This, practically speaking, will encourage members to be devoted to one another in different ways. You know, and they just ask those members that are wealthy and blessed to step in and open up opportunities to the other members that are less fortunate. You know, when one of your members is a manager or a CEO in a certain company, it is very important for you as the leader or the leadership for that matter to encourage that particular member to hire members of that church. This not only builds unity, but again, it increases the purchasing power of those members. Okay? And that is very, very important. Number 4, as much as this might sound crazy, but it's also good to encourage church members to marry each other, especially the young people. As much as possible, and where it is workable. It is very important, especially in a town church, to encourage the young people to marry each other. You know, you ever noticed there's a young lady who is very committed and they are in relationship with another young man? Why don't you encourage it? Let them marry, because when they get married, the relationship will grow, and there will be no it will be cementing, and so that is very important. And then finally, look out for moments when you can eat together. Eating together is something that can be able to bring devotion and increase commitment within any church. We believe those tips have been a blessing to you. This is Marketplace Media, an online platform that engages, equips, and encourages believers to say inawezekana. If you're here for the first time, we encourage you to go to our channel, Marketplace Media, and hit the subscribe button. And every time when we upload the video, you'll be blessed. Until next time when we meet, my name is John Kimani. This is Marketplace Media, where we always say inawezekana. God bless you.